morning, my friends. It's Jennifer from the patio. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I want to thank you for coming in and checking me out. And if you are returning, I want to thank you because you guys are the ones that just keep me going. So, I'm just having a little cup of coffee this morning because I woke up with the crack of dawn. Okay, I don't know what happened, but 4 o'clock I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I just went ahead and got up, and this is my second little demi-tasse cup of coffee today. It's so delicious. But anywho, so I have a couple of quick little projects this morning, but I wanted to show you. That looks like it's putting a little shadow on my paper. I wanted to show you a graceful shift where autumn colors gently unfold. And I've showed you one before, but I wanted to show you what it looks like when it's printed on presentation matte paper, which is the paper that you can't print on the back, but the front is fabulous. So I'm putting together fall journals right now, and so I just wanted to show you the 3 that I have here, and then I have one over there that I'm working on. So I'm just going to show you the papers, but I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, do this, because I just think every one of them are spectacular. So this is this is going to be a gratitude journal that has all of the yellows and the oranges and peaches in it. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I really love this. I love the leaves and the brown. So that's 5. Pretty. 6. 7. 8. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I think that was 7. I think I was putting 7 because I'm doing 14 pages. So that was 1. And then this is more of the pinks and burgundies. Okay, so there's that one. Look how vibrant. I can't even tell you how beautiful they print. They're so pretty. Look at that. Is that just gorgeous? That's gorgeous. Okay, I'm not going to say anything anymore. Dianthus, I love those. Look how pretty. And then I think this is the last one. And then I'm also doing a journal that I love. I did I did a kit called It's the Farm, but that's not what this is. Last year, I made some journals because I did shows and stuff. And I just love farmhouses. And so I did a whole thing of farmhouses. But I did it because I love music. I love farmhouses. And so anyway, that's what I did. And so this is that kit. So I've got that. I say kit, but it's just something that I've, put together. I just love the colors. Love it. Love it. Love it. This is probably my favorite. Love it. Look at that beautiful window. So pretty. And then I did another one. I don't like this one as much because it's more of an illustrated, but I still love it. Okay, and then I wanted to show you, I'm doing an ephemera addition or add-on kit to the gentle shift or a graceful shift. So this is the ephemera pack, and I believe there's like 21 pages. So I'm just going to show you these real quick. Flip outs, pockets, flip outs, flip up, a little cascading booklet. This is just a little booklet. This is a wrap around the page. Some pockets, and I haven't finished it. As you can see, I have notes. I've already done all these things, but I just wanted to show you. Coin envelope, some little round pockets. And then everything, all of the ephemera is done in the same color pattern, but I just did it in quilts with like little stitching and little tufts with little, you know, brads or beads in it. So I have that. And then I have this one. And then that's just a pocket that I use the flowers. Just some plain ones because I want to be able to cut these out with some jagged scissors. And then here's some pockets. You can see all the little stitching all the way around it. So there's those. I redid it because I don't like these pockets. I'm like, you know, I don't know why I did that. And then here are the tags. And then I have another sheet that just has ATC cards on it. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. You may or may not be interested in seeing it, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm working on and what my folios, what my journals are going to look like. So, and then what the ephemera kit is, just in case you're interested. Okay, so let me put that aside. So today we have a couple of projects. Oh, and this is let me show you real quick. These are the pages that I made all the ephemera out of. So there's that. There's that. There's that pretty. It's just so pretty. I love this one. Love this one. Probably one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites as well. Anyway, this is where you see all the stitching. I just love that. I mean, what better to go with florals for the fall than to do some quilts, some stitching quilts, but in the same color pattern. So there's that one. Look at this. Look at the little stitching. Love it. Another one, this has the little jagged. You can cut these out as individual little cards to use, or you can just use it as is, cut it up, you know, make a tag or whatever. I'm not sure I'm going to include that in there, but anyway, look, I just love the stitching. So, and then I have just some background pages where I lifted some of the flowers off and did that. So anyway, there's all of that. I just wanted to share that with you real quick before we make this project. So I'm working in my fall journal, and one of them, and this is the page we did the other day with the little bird. And so I want to put something on this page. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to make some coin envelopes this morning, and then I'm going to put them on here staggered. So that's what we're going to make. So let me get out my little trusty card. So what you're going to need, we're going to make 2 envelopes. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are 7.5 by 7. And hopefully you can get something that's kind of contrasting. This is part of the kit as well. Let me get that piece of paper up off the floor. So you need, and your 7.5, if your paper is like mine where it matters whether it's directional or not, the 7.5 is your width and the 7 is the height. Okay, so you need 2 of those. And I'm going to get out my bigger, I'm going to put this to the side, and then I'm going to get out my bigger scoreboard. Because although I love that little one, it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't fit bigger pieces of paper. Okay, so we're going to score on the 7.5 side, we're going to score at 2 and 5.5. Okay, and then we're going to turn it to the left, and we're going to score at 1.5 and 6.5. And then we're going to do the same for this one. On the 7.5, we're going to score at 2, 5.5, turn to the left, score at 1.5 and 6.5. Whoops. Okay. Pretty simple. I don't know if you've ever made coin envelopes before, but you can make them in all kinds of different sizes. This is just the size that I kind of prefer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just cut all 4 of these corners out. And so I'm going to turn it over just so you can kind of see the bumps. I apologize if the lighting is not ideal. I'm going to go up a little bit just so I get a little bit more of that corner. So whenever I close this of the middle flap, these won't be in the way. I usually just kind of do a little curve. I do the same on the top, but maybe a little bit more predominant, just so that I don't want to pull too hard, but let's get that little piece right there. Okay, and then we're going to do the top, and then I'm going to kind of come in a little bit. Because that way you have a little bit more space when you're putting something in it to get in there. And I'm cutting inside the score mark. Okay. So there's that. Let me just cut this one out real quick. I say real quick, but I try to do it quick, but I'm gonna do this, just kind of curve it a little bit, just so whenever they meet together, and I'll show you whenever and I'm sure you've made these before, so, but if not, this is an easy way to make coin envelopes. I say easy, I mean it is the way to make it. Coin envelopes, and you can make them, play around with them, make them all in all kinds of different sizes. I went up a little bit higher on that, just because I don't want it to impede whenever I close it. So happy hump day to you. Today is Wednesday, and I am filming on Tuesday, and I'm very excited because I am going to have Thai food with my girlfriend today, and I'm very excited. We haven't had lunch in about 5 weeks. So this is going to be a nice little treat for us. I am going to use my middle corner rounder on this bottom one. You know what? Let me just, no, that's not working either. I'm going to do the big one because I'm trying to get in there and it doesn't like it. Okay, and I'm okay with this being white. If you want to print it on double-sided, you can certainly do that, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold this one up. And see how when you put like a little curve in there, you know, you kind of see that there's, you know, gives you a little bit of room to put the pocket in. To put the pocket in, we need some room to put the the tag. See, it's early. 4 o'clock is early. I mean, it's not 4 o'clock right now, but I mean, I had coffee with my husband, and then he went off to worky poo. So, okay, so this right here, I'm gonna get out my. I love this stencil. I use it a lot in the fall. And so I'm just going to go like that, and I'm just going to put a little bit down there. It doesn't have to be Yeah, this is the one I'm going to flip over. So I'm going to do it a little darker. Okay, there. There. Okay, so there's that. And then this one we are going to, I'm going to cover this with some ink because you're going to see a portion of it, and I'm going to turn it so that, let me go ahead and glue this down. I didn't ink it, so I want to do that because I am going to put it on the page today. So let me just do that real quick. I know, I apologize. But, you know, inking is the time I get to say, I hope that this day finds you happy and healthy, and that you're doing well, and that you've had a good week so far, and, you know, you're ready on your way to a fun little weekend. You have anything exciting planned? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so I need to ink that because you're going to see it. You're not going to see the back, so we're okay there. But I'm going to do it a little bit darker on the sides. I love the way this ink looks on craft cardstock. I do. So I really want it to, and I'm going to put the other card on top of it. We're going to stagger them, so I'm good with that. And I definitely want to do this flap. And we're going to turn it this way. So the only thing, I'm just going to do a little bit because you're not going to see that. But you are going to see this. And you are going to see this. I know I always do things different, but I can't help it. It's just what I do. So I'm going to flip that down, this flap. I'm going to put it on the page like this. And then this is going to be an uptuck. Okay? And then this little thing's going to fold down. And so you're going to see this part. So let's get that inked. Okay, so now let's glue it. I got that done. Let's glue it, and then I'll finish. Let me do these first. Okay, what you do is you decide which way you want it, whether you want this flap on top or the other one, and I kind of like this one. You open it, then you're going to put glue on the one that's laying down close to the edge. Then you're going to flip over to this one and put the glue on this edge so that when they cross over, you have glue that covers the whole little portion. Okay, and then we're just going to put some glue down here. I took all of my glue bottles and took off the metal tips and soaked them and cleaned them out, and they are acting much better. I don't know what the deal was, but they obviously were clogged and needed to, I'm going to go ahead and do this so I can put the ink up, but they must have been clogged or something. So I took care of that business. I'm just going to put some ink on here so it kind of gives it a little bit of contrast. That looks perfect. Okay, then I can put that up, put the lid on here, and then I'm going to glue this one down. Okay, so mostly, you're not going to see this side, but I am going to glue. So let's see, just to open that up. It's just easy whichever way you want to do it, but I'm right-handed, so it's just easier to do it like this. Okay, and then we're just going to close the flap up. And you don't want to get it too close to the seam because we cut it up a little bit, and it could really, it could cause your pocket to Everything looks good. Okay, so that is that. I mean, how simple and fast was that? So let's get out our page, and I wanted to put it on this Apple page. So I wanted it to go like this. Oh, let's glue this down. I got to glue these flaps down. So this is the decorative one that we're going to put on top of this plain one, right? You know, I'm probably going to do it like this, or like probably like that. So anyway, what you want to do is you want to take your flap and flip it over the opposite way, and then we're just going to glue it down on the sides so that it makes an uptuck. And then you're just going to glue that down. And that's it. Okay. And then the way we glue it, it's going to give us an opportunity to put a side pocket in. So we're getting 3 pockets here. Okay, so let me just take this away. Okay, so this is going to be our page, and so I kind of want it to go like this. So we'll have one going this way and one going that way. And then what we're going to do is I'll pull it over just a little bit more, and then we're going to have a side tuck. So I want it to have glue up here and glue on the side, but I don't want glue on the bottom because I want the card to be able to go all the way in. But what I am going to do is when I put this down, I'm going to put glue right here so that when I put my card down, it's going to hold it down on top of this coin envelope. So let's get this one down first. Okay, so I'm going to do the top and the side only. So I'm going to flip it over so I know it's the top and the side, but not the bottom. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Am I making sense to you? I hope so, because sometimes I'm not making sense to myself. I'm going to go all the way up. Turn that little corner. And then there we go. Okay, so I want it to go like, I want it to kind of go towards the top. Okay, so we're just going to push that down. And I just take my fingernail and just kind of go over that just in case there's any glue coming out. But I didn't really see any that was going to cause an issue. Okay, so that's down. Now this is still open right here, which we want. But what we're going to do is when we put this one down, I'm going to put glue on that. I'm going to put glue on this and up here. So the card will go in like this. Let me just get a piece of... Yes, okay. That's what I wanted to make sure. Okay, so I am going to glue on the bottom and the side. So I'm going to flip it over. And then I'm going to put some glue right here. And then I'm going to do the bottom. And then I'm going to do this side. Not where my finger is, not where my hand is, but on the opposite. So I'm going to flip it back over, and then I'm going to put it down like that. And then I'm going to hold it down. And then that glue is holding that card on so it's just not, you know, hanging up in the air or whatever. Okay. And then now we have a nice little pocket right there. And I probably could put some glue right here because I do not want this to be bobbling its little head. Okay. So you just want to make sure that this is adhered to the pocket. So when you're putting something in and out, this isn't going to pop up. You probably could put some, but I'm good with that because we already did the bottom So we're good. That's good. Okay, so that is done and adhered. And so let's kind of decorate it a little bit. Let me get my glue taken care of so it can continue to work right. See, it already has a... That's okay. Okay, so what I do have is I have some of these, I have some tags that, you know, we can put in here. I'll have to decorate them. But I have some tags, and so that looks good. And then I also have, I have tons of ephemera to go. But let me look and see what I got. Let me look and see what I got. I mean, I have so much stuff. Oh, you know what I wanted to show you? Yeah, let me look. I have 3 baskets of fall ephemera, but I wanted something contrast. Oh, yeah, see? I wanted something that would have a little bit of contrast. Okay, that goes in about, that can go in like that. I don't know if that's big enough. But I have some other ones. I just cut up a book page and stuck it onto some cardstock. And I love that. I just think it's so pretty. I could make one of these a little tuck up. A little tuck up in there. Because I just think that is so pretty. Ooh, I have some. Ooh la la. Look how pretty that is. I don't know if I want it that long. But I do love the blue. We could do that because I wanted to put, let's do that. And then I cut out the other day, I just sat and did a bunch of punches, and I thought this would be pretty. Let me take that out. I thought this would be kind of cool, like right there. And then I have all these cute little pockets. And I wanted to put like a little pocket on there. Let me see if it's gonna... I think it'll be okay. I like it. I like it. Mikey likes it. Okay, let's just get out some glue. And then I will cut some corners on that. I think I'm going to use my UHU glue for this. So let's just stick this down. So I'm just going to kind of run it over. Just kind of run it over it. Okay, that should do it. Okay, I just think it's pretty. And then we'll put that down. And then I just love these little envelopes. You know, when when I showed you all my punch haul, I had a punch in there that cuts and perforates and makes these little envelopes, and I just think they're adorable. So now I'm trying to put them anywhere I can. I like that. I'm just going to do that, and it's already inked, so... See, that's what the good thing is, doing things ahead of time. I think I'm going to fold it down. And then I'm going to put a little ink on the top. And then I'm just going to adhere the back to that. Just the back part. I'm not putting very much glue. It looks like I am, but I'm not. I might just, maybe I'll just offset it, and that way it won't get in the way of the other. And then I have a cute little piece of, I just found a scrap of paper, but I mean, how cute is that? You can just write you a little secret note on here. You know, I think it's fun to have all these little bitty, you know. And I love that it's all torn and tattered. And if I want to do it more, you just crease it, kind of push it together, put a little ink. I like to crunch it up a little bit and do that. And then that way you kind of get that. But yeah, look how cute that is. Write you a little note on here. Fun, fun. Okay, so we'll just fold that up. And it's tattered look. Let's see if it fits. Oh, yeah. Look how cute that is. And then we'll put this up in here. And then you can write on the back of that. I think it's cute. I like it. And see, this kind of goes with that. And this goes... Oh my gosh, that all worked out so good. Okay, so what do I want to do with this real quick? Let me see. I'm not going to do the tags right now. I'm just going to leave them blank in there. But these are the ones I'm going to put in there. I need to cover them with paper. But we are going to do a quick little project. So, should I round them? Why not? And I think I left this little orange part down here so that I could put a sentiment. And I think I'm just going to do the same. The same at the top. But look, isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay. I kind of want to cover like that. Okay, so there we go. There's one. Isn't that pretty? That turned out good. I love staggering coin envelopes and the such because it just adds so much real estate. Let me see what else I have in here. I did some of these cards and did some embossing, but I still have to cover the back. This is a Reese's, but that would go good depending on how I covered it. Let me see if I have something else that's not quite so large. That one, oh, that one's a floral too. Yeah, see, just like that. And then I can paint this, not paint it, but yeah, put some ink on it with some different colors. I like that. You know, I haven't committed yet. You know, I have not committed. I also have this. I love this shorthand. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I love this book. It's a shorthand book that I found. I could cut that down. That would be fun. And I kind of like the color on that. I do like that. Oh, it does. It did go in. Okay. Okay. Would definitely need to round the corners. And then have that sticking out. How that looks good. And then I'll put a tab on it or whatever. Okay, let's do that. I like it. And then I can add, I might just cut just a hair off. In the back, I went ahead and inked it, but I also embossed it just a little bit. Let's do like 5 3/4. I think it was a 6x4, and I do like a 6x4, but I want it to fit. I don't want it to be so snug. Yes, I love it. Okay, I like it. I don't love it. I like it. You can't love stuff like this. You know, we got to use love in the proper way, right? Okay. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so next project that I have today. Let me put this up. I got stuff sticking on me. We are going to do a staggered pocket flips. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2, let me see what time I'm at, 34. Okay, we're going to do this quick. What you're going to need is 2 pieces of paper. Okay, and I'm picking this, and you kind of want them contrasting. So I'm going to put that to the side. And then I have some remnants cut over here, so I'm just going to use this piece that I have. So you want to take this piece and you want to cut it to, it needs to be, each of them need to be 4 by 8.5. So these need to be 4 in height and then 8.5 long. So let me cut my 8.5 first, real quick. I have to make sure that I'm, okay, so let me do 8.5. And I'm going to have 2 out of this and then 1 with the cardstock. And then that way I get my 3 pieces. When I say 2 pieces, I mean you need 2 pieces of paper that you're going to cut into 3 strips. So you need 2 of one color that are 4 by 8.5, and then 1 of another color that's 4 by 8.5. So we're doing 4. And I'm going to cut it this way just so it looks a little bit cohesive. Excuse me. Okay, so here are our 3 pieces. And what we're going to do is we are going to fold them in half. So you're going to fold them in half. And you kind of want them to be folded correctly because it is going to matter. When you put them together. So let me make sure that this is, I have to be able to see it from this end. Okay, so there's number 2, and then this is number 3. Okay. I just want to make sure that they are right. Of course, if I didn't cut them right, then they're not gonna be right. Okay. I'm going to commit with the burnish. Okay, so they go like this. Make sure that your text is all going the right way. This one's going to go in the middle. Yeah, it goes like this. Okay, I need to ink them, but I need to also decide where I want them to go in here. So I got something over there. No, no, no. Let me see. I need I need a solid piece of paper. Because it's gonna be writing. So what we're gonna do, let me see if I can do it on here. That makes sense. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna have one here, then you're gonna go down 2 inches, and you're going to attach this pocket, but only on the glue on the side, the bottom, and the other side. So when you put it down, it's gonna flip open, but you're gonna have a pocket here. And then this one is going to be 2 inches down, but only glued on the sides and the bottom so that you can put a pocket in here. Okay? Does that make sense? And then it's going to go like this. And you know me, I prefer a, for it to fill the page. So I'm going to do it where it is going to be 8 tall. And then we'll stick it on there. So let's do the gluing first, because I'm going to measure using this mat. Okay, so let's put this one aside. So I'm going to go 2 inches down, because that'll be 2, and then I'll put this one here, and that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So what I want to do is I want to mark this. Okay. And this was 4. So what I can do is I can flip it over. So you have the mark here. So just go ahead and put your, put your glue like this up and around, and then flip it over, and then you'll be able to, that's probably confusing to you. But I mean, at least I can see it, like that. But I also have my you know, my board, and I can always erase that. So that's my whole point, is that I'm going to put the glue on this and then go around and go like this, and then I'm going to flip it over and then put it down. I hope that makes sense. That's just my mark so I know where to put my glue. I hope that makes sense to you. But it makes sense to me. So I'm going to go to this, I'm going to do the side. I'm going to go up to that 2-inch mark, and I'm going to go a little before it because I don't want it to go all the way down. And then I'm going to just go to the side, and then I'm going to go up. Okay. And so now I know where to go because I'm going to put it on here. And so I'm going to put that down just like that. And then I'm going to pull it up to make sure that this folds in, and we're probably going to have to cut those edges, and that there's no glue seeping out the back. Okay. There's a little glue coming out, but that's okay. We're going to cut that off anyway. That's why I don't want to adhere to the page yet, because the next one I put in, we're probably going to have to cut that too. Okay, so it's going to look like this on your page, and then this one's going to be down here. Okay, so let's line it back up with my mat. So we did that one at 2. Now we're going to do this one at 2 down as well. Okay, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to mark right here. And of course I'm going to go above it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. So I'm putting my glue on the top. I hope that makes sense to you. I mean, it does to me, but... And don't go all the way to the mark. Just, you know, go up above it a little bit. Put your glue, and then do the other side. Okay. And let me put that back where it needs to go. And then we're going to I'm going to pull it down to there. And then I'm going to do the 2-inch mark. Make sure it can close. Turn it over. Make sure that everything is looking good. Yeah, that one actually lined up pretty good. Maybe I didn't push this one in. I think it's because the cardstock's a little bit thicker than the paper is. Okay, so that's what you have. And so you're going to have a flip and a pocket. Let me get that glue off. It kind of came out. I just don't want it to glue itself down. Okay, and then you're going to have, and I happen to have some tags right here that I was making. So you're going to have a place for a tag. And they're not very big. And then this one opens up, and then you have a place for another tag. And of course you could put a pocket here, which we do have a piece that's left over. So we could do that. So I did not ink them, but I feel like I can still do that. I'm not going to be able to get that, but I can do it with my brush. So that is the second project, and it's just called a staggered pocket flip. I mean, it's pretty simple. And so when we adhere it to the page, which I'm not going to do yet because I need to ink it, when you adhere it to the page, you're going to adhere it like this. And so you're going to have a flip, writing space, flip, and decorate this, flip, writing space, flip, writing space, and then 2 cards in there. And of course, I am going to add some of this decorative, you know, put some of this down here. And in that way, it'll be a 3rd pocket and another tag. So it gives you a lot of real estate, and, you know, depending on how you know, all of this is adhered. This is all glued, so you don't have to worry about it. So you could put it, you know, on the top, the side, and the bottom. And then once again, you have space to add a big journaling card, which is probably what I'll do. Because this is a gratitude journal. It's something that you're going to, you know, somebody's going to, whoever, you know, buys this is going to write in. And so you want to have as much writing space as possible. So, anywho, that is the second project. And I hope you like it. I hope you make one. You know, make it your own. Round the edges, ink it up, do what you need to do. But I just wanted to show you real quick because we're already at almost 40-something minutes. So I'm trying to keep this short. Anywho, thanks for coming. I had a great time with you. You have a fabulous week. I'll see you Friday. And remember, you only know what you know until you know something different. Bye-bye.